Yo, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing a video on AllStarTowerDefense X. Today we're going to be talking about all the Unbound units that you could get through trials. So currently we're going to be talking about trial 1, 2, and 3 Unbound units. So those units are Magma Marine for trial 2, a tree for trial 1, and Supreme Leader for trial 3. So we're going to be talking which one you should get. So previously I did only 1 and 2, and my opinion hasn't changed on a tree. The tree is still relatively good. It starts with a freeze, which allows you to stun for 2 seconds, as well as allow you to deal more damage for plus 3%. As well as upgrades are relatively cheap. As well as once you upgrade to a decent point, it gets a time stop, which allows you to stun for 4 seconds. And yeah, it's also a relatively solid DPS. It's the same stat line as Gojo, so if you want to see Gojo's stat line, I mean the tree's stat line about All-Star, just check Gojo's really. So Magma Marine. Previously I talked about Magma Marine. He's really high DPS. He can attack really fast. Go out burns. But he's relatively expensive. I think that's something I forgot to mention. His last upgrade, like from here, I think from here it gets really expensive. Yeah, at this point. And if you want to hit to his ability, probably takes like around 40k or so. But the magma pulls are really OP though. They're really OP, right? So let's sell these so we can let our Frieza get more damage. So we already checked those out in our previous video, and I already said like Itri is number 1 and Magma Marine is number 2. But let's see how good Supreme Leader is though. So Supreme Leader has like this aura that lets him do damage. Not aura, my bad. There's a blue line where it lets him do damage. If the enemy that's not an air unit, the blue area cannot hit air units, by the way, just FYI. So once the enemy gets into the blue range, the unit that circles around Frieza will be able to do damage. And then once they get into the white range, Supreme Leader will be able to do damage, which is only a single hit. As you can see, he only does a single hit. His upgrades are relatively worthless from what I've seen so far. Right, his upgrade is relatively worthless. Like even if you upgrade, I gotta move him further because I actually want to. That's an issue with this character as well. You need All-Star to make him function properly. Without All-Star, this character is super bad. So we're gonna upgrade this. Notice how for each upgrade, it barely boosts up his stats. As you see, it's barely boosting up his stats. And it gets really expensive at the near end too. So without any transformations, like if you don't use the Supreme Transformation, Frieza will 100% struggle with any content you're doing. Like he's not good with anything. Right. So now we hit the first form. So let's go into the first form. The first form has more damage, which is really nice. Exactly what he needs. Because without that second transformation, he'll probably be like one of the worst units ever in the game. But with this second transformation, it's really nice. It becomes a shield breaker, but it takes way too long to be actually any use. Like you take way too long to ramp up. But at this point of the upgrade, you should be relatively getting a lot of damage. As you can see here, we're getting a lot of damage. So let's go on to the next form, which is pretty soon. So the next form is also relatively quick, because the next form is also a shield breaker, but it's an AoE line. So let's go into AoE line mode. AoE line. And you hit really fast. Look at how fast it shreds. So I think this is the best form MMO for like general content. Is the best form because you'll charge up so fast during this form. And it breaks shields so easily. So notice how we're charging really fast. I mean, the minions did get stronger too. That's also a thing. Alright, now we're going down to the third form. No, fourth form, my bad. So this is the fourth form. So the fourth form is where yeah, yeah, this is where some people say that might be good. I don't think so. His range is really nice, right? But his damage is also pretty high as well. But he struggles to clear any waves. Speaking of clearing waves, I had to actually put down a killer so I actually spread before I actually die. Alright. Yeah, he struggles to clear any waves. Let's put this at last. If you want to, so if you want to charge up Frieza to the point where he gets his transformation, he's gonna struggle in the early game because it's a single target laser beam. He's gonna do well in the mid game. His mid game is strong. And then the late game. Is kind of memes. All right, so he has 4,000 DPS right here. So that's pretty high DPS. So you do level him up or get All-Star, he'll definitely do a crap ton of damage. But yeah, like I said, you need All-Star to make him work properly. You're not putting down more than one, or otherwise you're not gonna get enough damage, I think. Because his attack's really slow and he's too weak, man. So yeah, I think Frieza is honestly the worst one. So my rating, I'll probably put his Itril first still, Magma Marine second, and Supreme Leader third. Distant third, by the way, not like really distant. Like if a new Unbound trial unit comes out, he'll be fourth, instantly fourth, because that's just not, he's just not good, man. So yeah, that is my rating, guys. Hopefully you agree with my rating. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for my next video in AllStarTowerDefense X. In the meantime, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.